Hi, I'm Alexandra, a psychic spiritual counselor, and welcome to Alexandra's Psychic Eye. We can lay our hands above someone's body and heal it. We can send thoughts of love and healing prayer to those who are sick. We can even relay loving words of assurance when a loved one finds himself lost and confused. As a spirit, we are endowed with the endless material that burns at the core of our being, no matter who we are and how much we try to deny it. It is always there, your choice and free will. Whether to practice or deny the love, only you can share. Don't worry about using it up, for there's plenty to spare. We'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. Anthony Lucas is a certified consulting hypnotist, hypno-counselor, and holistic spiritual teacher. Anthony is also a teacher of the healing arts, licensed to teach a therapeutic art of relaxation and various stress management techniques that have been traced back to ancient Tibet. He has spent the last couple of decades studying Japanese martial arts. And welcome back to our show.
Thank you.
We loved you the first time, and we wanted you back, so we're glad you're here. Now, you're a man of many abilities, and on the last segment, we had a fascinating discussion on past life regression. So this time, we thought we'd like to concentrate on other areas of your practice, Anthony. So let's talk about the therapeutic art of relaxation that you teach. I'm getting relaxed just thinking about it. So, what about that? How do you do relaxation techniques?
Just lay my hands above the body a couple of inches and just kind of like, just let it kind of like this cascade above the body and allow the person, well, actually suggest to the person, just allow the energy, the warmth to like relax them and so forth.
Now, what types of problems would that help relaxation? Obviously, stress.
Pretty much all general elements, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual.
What's the most interesting story, unusual, put you on the spot?
Do you really want to know?
We do. We really want to know. Our viewers want to know everything. That's why they tune in.
Well, first and foremost, I can be reached at www.jewel, Jewel, of hypnosis.com.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
We're going to have that on the screen so that people can check that.
Okay. One of the most, I guess, ones that that comes to mind is a gentleman that I met about 10 years ago, and he had a degenerated disc in his back. Which he lost all feeling in his legs, all sense of motion, all his motor within his legs were completely gone.
Wow.
And he was totally depressed.
That would do it.
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, basically, his girlfriend approached me. She got information from another guy that knew of the work I was doing, and she approached me about her boyfriend. She was, deeply concerned about his welfare and his well-being, and she explained the situation to me. And I enlisted to go and have a sit-down with him. And when I met him, I just immediately was attracted to him. I loved him. He was a great guy. And my idea was to teach her to work with him.
Oh.
And
wow.
I ended up teaching him directly.
So how did you exactly what did you teach him?
Well, I teach them what I call the layman's form of healing, which is it's an ancient healing art. It's called Reiki. It's based on the universal life force of energy flowing through the individual and out through their hands, and basically I taught him the basic levels of that. That is, therefore, he can heal himself, because all healing is self-healing.
Well, yes, and I'll tell you something. I had taken a a fall once, and after I went to the chiropractor, I said, you know what? I do healings on people. Let me just do a self-healing. So I didn't just concentrate, but I took my hands and I was like, put it over my head, and I, did this, whatever I felt like. And as I was doing it, I felt the pain just dissipating out of my body. And it was like, wow, this really works. This is great. Let me do that again. She's good. I have to tell you, it was the strangest feeling. And, I obviously didn't have to do that. I could have just concentrated.
Right.
But I wanted the experience of just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even as I'm doing it now, it feels pretty good.
It sure does.
So do you teach people to do that? To
Yes.
use their hands and bring the light into the top of their head?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very important. It's symbolical. I mean, when you get the physical involved, like you said, you can just, concentrate, and it will work equally as if you just run your hands down your auric field.
What are some strange relaxation sessions that you've had with people? Tell us about it.
I've had people have ab reactions.
Ab reactions?
Ab reactions, yes.
Such as? Maybe you could explain that.
Reliving a time in their life where it was very traumatic. And this one guy, the guy with the back situation, he saw his mother that was, at the time, that passed before that session. And he basically saw her.
Now, he saw his mother pass away in this life?
No, he saw his mother, his deceased mother, in a relaxed state.
Oh, okay.
So he had the ab reaction. He went through the actual feelings and the emotions of that experience.
So are you suggesting that he was shutting himself off physically? So that's why he didn't feel anything?
No, I think
and then he opened himself up?
No, I think he really needed to have that, that conversation with his mother, that last conversation of letting go and so forth. And
do you think that's related to his paralysis and his, his physical problem?
I think so, absolutely.
In what way, do you think?
I mean, his mother, he might have disappointed his mother. He might have felt like he disappointed, he let her down.
He let her
guilt.
go.
Yes.
It's like maybe she said, make me better and...
Or get better with your life, do something with your life.
Right.
And he might have felt guilty, and sometimes guilt, any of those sort of characteristics, or what you say, people say, guilt, shame, remorse. I mean, those I like to say principles, because they are principles also. They can actually transcend to the physical body.
Thoughts are things.
Thoughts are things.
I was just talking to one of my students about that this morning. Thoughts are things. She was, someone had, an identity theft thing. And I was trying to explain to her that she was attracting negative things to her. And somehow, then she realized she was afraid of that happening. So I said, well, whatever it is that you're afraid of, that's what you're going to attract to you. Then I had another student who their parent, before they died, was begging them, at the hospital, don't let me die. Now, that's not in that person's hands. That's in God's hands and in the hands of their spirit. So what I taught them at that time was to send the parent healing, that it's okay, don't be afraid to pass, that, you're in charge of this and you're going to go when you're ready. So rather than that student feeling like, oh my God, I let my parent die, it's my fault, they learned that to help the parent realize you go when you're ready. And the parent did eventually go, but in a much more peaceful way. In fact, they had a big smile on their face when they left.
Absolutely, yes.
For sure. Now, what are you experiencing while performing a healing? Because I do a lot of healing work.
Absolutely. I experience a trance state.
A trance?
A trance state, yes.
Explain trance state.
A trance is just like a daydream. You're daydreaming. You go into a neutral place, I like to say. As we say in past life, in between, sort of like that, but a neutral place.
The gray place?
Yes. Where I literally, I am more sensitive, that is, to the, I guess, the assistance of my guides. you know, my angels, if you will, you know, those who
Right.
work with me, that is to work with those people that I work with.
Some of the healings you've done must be amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Share, you know, a very moving, touching
Wow.
healing experience.
There's one in
with it.
particular, when I met this woman, she found me on the internet years and years ago. She found me, and I went to her house for a consultation. And the first thing I told her, I says, now, once we achieve this work that we're to do, because we never know the outcome, but once we achieve the work we're to do, what would you like to come out of that? She says to dance with her husband again.
Aw.
Yeah. So I worked with her for about 3 months, and I left her. That's what we do. And I mean, our work was done. And she called me about 2 years later to do some more work. And I asked her, I said, well, what has changed and what happened since I last saw you? She said, Anthony, I danced with my husband.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Anthony. That is so
That was
beautiful.
touching. Yeah.
That's very special. How can a person who comes to you for a stress-related situation continue after the session? Like when they leave your office, I mean, you calm them down, you help them de-stress, but now they're out in the world and it's like, oh, okay, now what do I do? That's the hardest thing for the people that come to me. What they do when they walk out my door.
Absolutely.
That's why it's like maintenance. You know, they call me, whatever. I tell them to call me from my head. But what do you do? Like,
Well,
because that's work too.
Well, I basically, in the beginning, I immediately try to get them back into that independent sort of mode, way of thinking.
Right.
And once we do the work, it's kind of pretty, simple. I kind of like I make it a point to give them something to go with, to go home with, or to a self. I guess, healing technique that they can keep with them and continuously, practice when they're,
Give us an example of just a little something that's a little healing technique.
Well, I like invocations. I think they're really powerful. Backs up the physical action.
That ever?
Invocations.
Explain.
Invocations.
Explain.
Such as, like, one of my great, I like to say mentors in a non-physical plane. He's no longer with us. His name is Imal Kohei. Imal Kohei. He was a European fellow. He was a hypnotist. He studied with one of the greatest hypnotists in France.
Really?
During the 1800s. And one of his famous quotes was, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Yes.
Very simple.
I was given that a long time ago.
Yes.
When I was healed of MS, and I would say, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Exactly.
I said that for years.
Yes.
Every day. And you really do command your body.
Yes, yes.
And smiling, do you know that it takes more muscles and more effort to frown? I mean, the greatest gift you can give anyone is a smile.
Yeah.
And it's not that I walk around smiling at the whole world, but if you can give someone your smile, you are really giving them a healing.
Absolutely.
So you give them different things to say in their head. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Invocation.
So an invocation. So what kind of results do you have from these techniques that you use? Well,
one of the people that come into mind about 2 years ago, she got into an accident due to martial arts. And she was very distressed. That pretty much.
What happened to her?
It was a training accident, and she injured her ankle. I think she broke her ankle, and she got in contact with me through somebody, and this was through phone, Skype, Europe. She was in Europe.
Wow.
And we talked for about a week.
Wow.
And I did hypnosis through Skype, and we talked a lot. I recommended books, and I recommended that particular mantra.
Yes.
And within 2 weeks, she was better. The leg was healed, and
oh my goodness.
she decided to become a hypnotist after that.
God bless you. Yeah. You're amazing.
Yeah.
You're wonderful.